In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make these amazing ceramic engraved tiles using the Image R website and an RE3 on a Muse laser. There's several ways to prep a tile. You can either just wipe it down with denatured alcohol and leave it as is, and then that's just going to engrave it. Or you can use Krylon paint and spray, and you basically take white Krylon paint or Rust-Oleum, spray it down, and then let it dry, and then engrave it. Or in this case, we're going to try using a Sharpie marker. And what we do here is we cover it completely with Sharpie and everything and let it dry. Once we've done that, we're going to go to Image R and we're going to upload our image. So let's go pick our image, and it'll take a little while to load it up. Once it's loaded up, it'll pop up below. And then we're going to resize it. Now we're using Satori tiles. These are 6 by 6 inches. So we're going to select inches, set the width to 6 inches, 100%, and then we're going to change the DPI to 500 because that's what we're going to engrave at. So once we click OK, it's going to go back and it's going to resample the image and create a new image with our width and our height and our DPI. Now, you can, if you need to, you can adjust the settings by clicking on Advanced Settings, but we'll cover that later. What we're going to do is we're going to select a material. So we're going to go up here and we're going to click on the Choose Material. And I like to use the new algorithms and go over and we're going to pick New White Tile and click OK. Now what this is going to do is it's going to process that source image. It's going to halftone dither it and basically change it to where we can just basically use that as a pass-through to the laser. And you'll notice the colors are a little bit lighter, and that's what we want. Now we're going to save it as a PNG, and we'll download it. And what this is going to do is it's going to create basically a single bit color map, which is either on or off, which will help us use this as a pass-through. So we'll open up a new project, scan our laser bed, and then we're going to import our image. And when it comes in, you're going to notice that you can't do much with it. You can't resize it. You can't change it, the DPI on it, and there is no threshold settings. And that's actually because it's this single bit color map, and so it's going to pass it through. And that means that whenever it sees a bit in the image, it's going to hit the laser off. So we're going to pick a material. In this case, I've got a material. You'll see ceramic tile. And for my machine, 100% power at 10 speed works really good. And you'll notice that we no longer have a threshold here. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to do center out or center based engraving. And that means that I'm going to use the center point so it knows where to place that. So we got to go switch the laser into relative mode and save it. Then we're going to go over and we're going to select the relative start position to be center. And then we're going to go to the laser and we're going to unlock it. And you'll see where I've drawn an X with a pencil on the ceramic tile. And I'm going to move the head over and right in the center of that X. And then I'm going to lock it, and it's going to go back and run back to the back right corner. So it has a known starting position, and then it's going to move back to that position. And sorry for this, but I'm using the camera feed on the Muse, and it's kind of jumpy. Next, I'm going to hit autofocus. That way it focuses it. And once we're done with that, we're going to go back over, double check our settings. We're at 100 power, 10 speed, and we're going to go ahead and run the job. Now what it's going to do is it's going to use that center position and then go down the bottom or the top and start engraving. And it'll take about 30 minutes. The Sharpie didn't leave any marks, so it didn't really work well. So we're going to just clean it up with isopropyl alcohol, and then we'll color it in using Sharpie markers after the fact. If you used Krylon paint, you need to use lacquer thinner to clean it up. And when you're done, you'll actually have black markings on the tile. So once we clean our tile with isopropyl alcohol, we end up with something like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to color it using Sharpie markers. Now I'm going to use red and black, and I'm going to be very careful to try to keep the red in the circle and then the black everywhere else. And this is actually what it looks like when I was finished coloring it. Now we're going to let that dry, and then I'm going to use isopropyl alcohol again, but I'm going to put it on a paper towel, and I'm going to dab it on here to wipe this off and get all the smudges off. And be very careful. And when you're done, you should end up with something like this. Now, if you're doing Krylon, after you're done hitting it with lacquer thinner, you should end up with something like this. And then you can go in and color it if you want, or you can leave it as is. I hope you like this tutorial, and I hope to give you an idea of something else you can do with your Muse laser. We'll catch you in another tutorial.